I don't believe that I know someone more relentless than Mitten Squad. Maybe Let's Game It Out, but Mitten Squad is definitely one of the GOATs when it comes to committing to the bit. This man would take months at a time to complete games in weird, outrageous ways. Some people looking at his video titles would say that it's clickbait, yet when you hit play, Mitten Squad would be going balls to the wall to complete a game in a way that it was never intended to be completed. His channel originally started in Let's Plays, but in 2014 he began to transition to top 10 gaming videos, which is really where he started to catch the attention of viewers. People seemed to love his dry humor and clear passion for gaming. Around 2017, he really struck gold with his Can You Beat series. The series caused him to steadily gain subscribers and dedicated fans. In 2020, Paul was able to achieve 1 million subscribers. In my opinion, Mitten Squad grew to the level he did because he's genuinely a good soul. He had a unique, dry sense of humor, and he somehow made the impossible possible. He was always dedicated to the bit. The man's video titles always sounded like clickbait, but they never were. No matter how unneeded or demanding the challenge was, he'd always find a way to accomplish it. That's why people flock to his channel, and sadly he won't be able to grow anymore, because addiction is a murderer. Mitten Squad, aka Joseph Robert Wilson, aka Paul, had been a faceless YouTuber for a very long time, but he promised his viewers that if he reached the big 1 mil, that he would do a face reveal / Q&A. As thanks for getting him as far on the platform as he had gotten. His face reveal came in a video posted October of 2020, where he unenthusiastically showed his face to his platform.
See that you wanted this. This wasn't my idea. You asked for it, I said I would do it at 1 million, and here we are. 1 million subscribers. You might wish that you could forget what you're about to see, but you won't be able to. Is this what you were expecting me to look like? Probably.
People were quick to form their own opinions on his appearance. Most of his fans were supportive, but no level of support and love can stop others from using words as weapons. Some of them went as far as posting on threads asking if he had some sort of disease such as Down syndrome or fetal alcohol syndrome, but there's really no reason to immediately assume that that is the case. Paul has always been the first to shit on his personality and his own looks. If he had any of these issues, he would have definitely made a joke or two about it, because that was the kind of guy he was. Sadly, the only disease he did have went untreated and ultimately took his life. Paul has always been open about being a heavy drinker. He even claimed during his 1 million subscriber Q&A that he at times would be able to down 2 handles of liquor within the short span of 2 weeks. He was such a heavy drinker, in fact, that he would have to track his own usage during parties because if he didn't, he would down too much. His alcoholism had been an issue for years. In fact, his first hiatus came in March of 2022 in the form of a community post where he stated that his alcohol consumption had gotten out of control. He told his community that the problem was that he couldn't just have one drink. He told his fans that his goal during this break was to never pick it up again. His fans were encouraging in the comments and made sure to tell him how much more his health meant to them than his regular upload schedule. Sadly, his goal went unachieved. Mitten Squad's upload schedule became very unpredictable and not much was said about his condition. In 2023, Paul did update us, again in the form of a community post, but this time we were exposed to the seriousness of his condition. Paul went to the hospital and had blown a 0.351 BAC, or blood alcohol content, which is extremely concerning considering that the legal limit is a 0.08. And the fatal limit is between 0.30 and 0.40. Paul even acknowledges that what he blew could have killed him. On Thanksgiving of 2023, after months of no uploads, we were given another update. This time stating that things were looking up. Said that he felt like he was making progress with his recovery, going from blacking out 2 to 3 times a week to blacking out 2 to 3 times a month. For those of you that don't know, blacking out from alcohol is when you have an extreme gap in your memory from the night that you drink. Some people don't remember anything the next morning after blacking out. Others can tell you bits and pieces. Fans seemed happy that he was seeming to recover well, even if it was slowly. And they were even more happy that Paul left the message off with, "Mitten Squad will return." But to our dismay, he never did. I personally remember seeing these community posts and being impressed with the level of openness and trust Mitten Squad had with us. In one of these posts, he states, "They had to put me in arm and leg restraints, put me in a diaper, which was incredibly humiliating as a 26-year-old. It was a whole ordeal." It's really hard to look back at these community posts, especially as a longtime fan. We were all rooting for him, just hoping that he'd be able to put alcoholism to bed. Yet he lost his battle, just like the 178,000 people every year. One of my favorite quotes about addiction has to be, "This isn't an epidemic, this is more like an apocalypse," because it's very true. We lose good people every year to this disease that's just getting worse. Something that I don't talk about often is that I've recovered from alcoholism myself. Mine was definitely not as serious as Paul's, but I can attest to the fact that it's not something that you can just stop or put down. Withdrawal symptoms are severe. Depression, fatigue, vomiting, shakes, and death are a few examples. You can die while recovering from alcoholism due to the fact that seizures and DTs are common in recovery. That's why it's recommended to seek medical help while recovering. On December 14th, 2023, the obituary of Joseph Robert Wilson was posted on Molnar Funeral Home, stating that his visitation was going to be 3 days later on December 17th. Personally, I got the news because I had posted a TikTok around a year prior to Paul's death, stating that he was underrated and deserved more viewers. He even talked about his addiction in the description, saying that he could use all the love and support he could get. On December 14th, that TikTok began to pick up more views, and when I read the comments, it was full of RIP Mitten Squad. I refused to believe that he had passed and was just hoping deep down that there was just another Mitten Squad is dead hoax. But I knew that the likelihood was high that it was real, especially since he had been suffering from pancreatitis while still consuming alcohol for quite a long time. My fears were confirmed in the form of a Reddit post titled, "My Son." Hello guys, I just created my Reddit account. I'm trying to figure how this site works. Kind of confusing to an older man, not very techy. I am Joseph's dad. It is true, my son is gone. The kind responses have been truly amazing. If I can figure out how to use this, I will try to keep up with the comments. The fact that I don't know any of you, but you still feel love, compassion, and kind remarks is something I've never experienced from complete strangers. He was a very good son, and we tried very hard to help him. Keep the good vibes coming because they really do make an impact. Me, his mom, and brother, thank you all. I was unable to 100% without question prove that was actually posted by Paul's father, but according to the comments and others in the Mitten Squad community, the likelihood of it being real is pretty high. My grandmother used to say the only thing sadder than a child burying their parent is a parent burying their child, which is very true. I cannot imagine the pain that Mitten Squad's family is going through right now. Paul was only 27, with such a bright future ahead of him. I hate that we can't watch him continue to grow here on YouTube, but what we can do is continue to remember him for the entertaining gamer with a heart of gold that he was. Mitten Squad will forever be missed by his fans. And addiction really did claim another Prodigy.